The Leatherman Wave Alpha is here. Big news for some multi-tool enthusiasts. And you know, I had to get one in black as well. This is the new upgraded option from the Leatherman Wave, replacing the Leatherman Charge Plus, which in turn replaced the Leatherman Charge TTI. So long line of upgraded options from the Leatherman Wave. We're going to be doing kind of a first impressions video here on the Wave Alpha. Got these in yesterday, got them out of the box this morning, and have just had a quick chance to play around with them. We'll be doing further testing in future videos, as well as a compatibility test with older multi-tools like the Leatherman Wave, see if the parts are swappable, so stay tuned for that. I already showed you the two colorways that I have, being the Cascadia colorway here in green with the orange accents, the Obsidian, which kind of harkens to the Arc Obsidian with those black parts and sort of gold accents on this one, a little less champagne-y. There's also the Canyonland, if I'm not mistaken, available as an exclusive on Leatherman's website. That is in orange with the silver tools. Those scales are going to be changed from the aluminum scales of the Charge Plus. These are going to be G10 scales, and they are milled. Hopefully you can see plenty of that detail. So you've got these layered sections here, kind of create a bit of a contour. And I will say it is more comfortable in the hand and a lot more grippy. Probably shouldn't use the bandaged finger, but a lot more grippy than those aluminum scales. So that is potentially an upgrade for some users. Obviously not maybe as premium as the titanium of days past, but still something nice. The big upgrade here, of course, is going to be that Magnacut blade. Let me compare that to the Waves blade just so you can see it. Different blade shape here, but of course that much upgraded steel in the Magnacut, kind of pulling from that Arc lineup, and it's got the included thumb stud, which is very nice, fairly smooth action out of the box. I have not oiled this or anything, or tweaked the tension at all, but definitely a nice option for those that use their multi-tool as their primary cutting tool. We've still got a saw, as we've had on Waves past, and the file, both on the outside with the liner locks. The thing you'll notice there is these have those thumb holes, so you can open those without using two hands. So that's how we would get the saw on the Leatherman Wave. Kind of a big upgrade, kind of a small upgrade that's going to have big impact for some users is having that thumb hole in those externally accessible tools. Of course, you've got the metal diamond file that a lot of people love from the Wave as well. And then over here, we've got a pair of externally accessible scissors. Give me 1 second here. I am just going to grab some paracord for a paracord test. And I don't know if you could hear that off camera. Snips perfectly well. We'll be doing further testing on these things, but passes the paracord test for those who care about that. Again, going to be liner lock, and yeah, this is the first of these smaller line tools that have that externally accessible scissors. Of course, the Arc and the P4 did as well, but of the Wave lineup, we never got those scissors on the Charge. That is the external tools. On the inside, we've got a plier head that looks identical to the Leatherman Wave plier head. Can't tell any difference at first glance, although no, I think that's about the same. We'll have to double check all of that in the future, but functionally very similar. We're gonna have a very similar tool set inside as well, with a couple of changes. So we've got our 2D bit driver, classic on the Leatherman Wave Plus, as well as that can opener with the wire stripper. A lot of people like having that combo tool versus a standalone can opener like you'll see on the Leatherman Arc. If we go to the other side, we've got that classic large flat screwdriver, as well as the micro bit driver that people are familiar with. These are all locking just like on the Leatherman Wave. We're going to have an internal lanyard ring, kind of similar to the rebar or the whichever the Sidekick or Wingman that has the internal kind of fold-out lanyard ring. Might be useful for some users. And then we've got a new all design. I'm not sure I've seen this awl design on any other tools. Little bit, let's grab a rebar awl. And this was a popular modification, so now you won't even have to mod it. We've got a little bit different design there. Fits on the Leatherman Wave Alpha. So that will be big for some users. We've got a new pocket clip coming from Leatherman. I don't have one in hand yet, but let's go ahead and check it out with the old pocket clip and just see how that works, because we've got a little bit different with the additional scales. We've got a little bit different look here, but I know people have asked this question. So we have one slot open here. We'll slip in the pocket clip. It does fit fine. A little bit of wobble, that's normal for these clips, but it does fit in there. So you will be able to use your older style pocket clips on the Wave Alpha. Another test that's kind of relevant to us is the pick tools. Will those fit on the Wave Alpha as standard? And yes, they do. Very good news. That was the first time I checked it live on camera, so good to know. We'll do some further testing as well, along with our slim pick. So that's the Wave Alpha. I think that's all of the big talking points. We're going to be doing actual testing with this tool to get a review, a more proper review. This is kind of first impressions, but I do like this tool. The price point is $200, and I think that's a little bit of a leap when you consider the adjustments you get from the Leatherman Wave at 125 or 120. Obviously, if you want the Magnacut, it's worth that. If you don't want the Magnacut, it is going to be a bit of a question mark for a lot of users, I think. You're going to a G10 scale, which again could be good for some users, bad for others. I do like the external tool set. I like having those big scissors, but for some of you, what you're losing out on will be too much, which is that really nice serrated blade that comes on the Leatherman Wave. So I don't know that it's a definite recommendation for most users, but for some, I think it is going to be worthwhile. It's just going to come down to what trade-offs you're willing to make and that additional $80, especially when you can upgrade from the Wave Alpha to the Arc for $50 more. I think that's a much more reasonable jump. If you're looking at the Alpha, you might want to consider the Leatherman Arc. It's got a lot of the same tool sets. It still has the big scissors. It's got the diamond file, which is a little bit bigger. I think it's a little bit bigger. Maybe it's not. Let's check. Yeah, a little bit longer on that diamond file. So there's going to be some benefits to jumping up to the Leatherman Arc if you're already in that price range. But for those that just love their Wave and just want those quality of life improvements like those thumb holes on the external tools, I do think it's going to be a good option for a lot of users. We're going to be doing a ton of, we're going to be doing a couple more videos on the Wave Alpha. I'm going to break these down at some point. We're going to throw parts into the Leatherman Wave, see what's compatible backwards and forwards for you guys that want to do some modifications here. So stay tuned for that. Hit subscribe if you want. And then we'll definitely have these parts up. Probably by the time you see this video, you'll be able to get the Leatherman Wave Alpha parts on our website at multipartstore.com. That's all I got for you today. We're going to jump into the next video here. We'll see you next week, and thanks for watching.